Hi.
Hello. Good afternoon,
I'm
guys.
good too.
Okay, so welcome.
Um,
Happy Friday, sort of. Even though
yeah, it's a
it's
Friday.
it's a
Every day is
Friday with a
Friday, but
difference.
it's
Yeah.
true. It is
It's the
true.
it's the
Although
type the
strangely,
type of yeah, it's the type of Friday we're getting used to now.
it is true. Strangely, I feel quite excited, I think, for this weekend. Or not excited, but ready to relax. I think it's like the weeks are getting slightly more stressful for everybody. Um, so
Mm,
I think maybe now this weekend I will actually just chill out, chill out.
mm. That's good.
I
Yeah, I
try
think
to.
I think it's good to have some time to relax. So guys, great. Thank you for saying hello. Okay, some of you are already telling us
Yeah,
where you are. So hey from Padova, hello from Treviso, fantastic.
cool. Okay, so one of us is frozen. I'm not sure who, but I'll just start with the introductions anyway, in case it's Lisa that's frozen. So I am Jadene, and I am from England. Maybe we have met before. I think I recognize Gianni and Alessia, but we do many webinars, so I'm not
Us
completely sure.
doing.
Um,
I'm fro-
So yeah, I am a teacher in Milan, and I am joined today by Lisa, who I think is still here. Are you here?
Yeah, this happened in the last one. Unfortunately, because of I think it's the issues with YouTube as well. It's coming in and out because there's a warning that with YouTube there's so many people online that it's causing a lot more connection problems the last couple of days.
Sure, sure.
But yeah, so anyway, guys, so some of you know me. So I'm Lisa. I am 29. I'm from Ireland, and I've been living in Italy for 2.5 years. Okay. And I also may turn off my camera at some point if I keep having connection problems, just to warn you.
The elusive voice. Yeah, Carl had to do that as well in my last one. So it's quite
Yeah,
funny. It feels like I'm being
yeah,
joined by like a conscience. Or
but in our last one, both myself and Liam had to turn off our cameras because the YouTube connection was just not working properly.
that's
It's just
nice.
too
Though. Kind of
too
like a
many
podcast.
people. Exactly, it's like a podcast.
Mm.
Um,
So
okay,
hi,
so hi Marco as
Marco.
well. Fantastic. So guys, how are you all doing? Um, are you surviving? Please let us know. For
Yeah.
today, what we're going to discuss with you, okay? So I quite like this topic, which Jadine has chosen, okay? So we're going to talk about antisocial networking. Okay,
Mm.
antisocial networking. So it's quite funny because at the moment we're experiencing the positives of social media, of also technology, and also a lot of the negatives. What do you think, Jadine?
Yeah, no, I think it's true. I thought this topic for me was very relevant because I
Mm,
find myself now all the time, but I do usually use my phone, but I don't
mhm,
like to be someone who is too dependent on it. I like to be a bit more old fashioned, or I try to be. I
mhm.
try to give people attention when we're speaking, etc. But the
Yeah.
last few weeks, my phone is constantly in my hand, even when I'm speaking to my housemates, um,
Mm,
which is a bit rude. I feel rude doing it, but I feel lost if I don't have my mobile. I'm just constantly there.
yeah.
I think because I cannot physically be outside. So,
Yeah.
but I feel like I don't want to be trapped. I want to have some kind of connection.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And but in a way it's helping people to stay connected, but at the same
yeah,
time there are some negatives with fake news being shared. Also, for example, I don't know, maybe having too much access to scary to scary news as well.
Yeah. No, my
People upset.
emotions
Exactly.
constantly like on a roller coaster. I feel like, oh, everything's fine, and then I feel like, no, everything's terrible.
I
And
know.
I think us being in Milan as well, I'm not sure if you had the same thing, Lisa, that Milan was kind of the first place in Europe for everything to happen. So all of
Yeah,
my friends from the rest of Europe message me like, oh, what is it like? What's going to happen? Is it okay? And obviously I don't know, but
exactly.
I feel like,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. It's very true. I love this comment from Gianni. I feel like
apparently.
it's how we all feel right now. It's like apparently I'm surviving.
Yeah. Great. I don't feel like I'm surviving, but I'm still here. So apparently I am. I must
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, I think for the moment we're all finding, I guess, a new normal, as it were, I guess, a new
Yeah,
version of normal to keep surviving somehow.
exactly. New
Uh,
routine.
so maybe just to start, I was thinking we could ask people just to give their thoughts. So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on social networking and how it affects society, especially now thinking about at this moment as well? Because I know
Yeah.
at the moment there are positives and negatives, and always there are positives and negatives, I think. But guys, let us know what you think, because I know people usually have quite strong views on this.
Yeah. Exactly. So again, I'm not sure. I'm not
But
sure
know
if
what you'll.
it's Lisa. Okay. Um. So yeah, I know we are experiencing some
But
technical issues, but
okay,
just
did I freeze again?
I think
I'm gonna
yeah.
turn off my.
But don't worry. Okay.
I'm off my camera. I'm going to turn off my camera. Okay,
Okay. Okay. No, there we go. We have your voice perfect. We cannot see you, but it's, you can be like the higher power.
exactly. I am the wisdom. I am the wise circle above us all.
Exactly. Fortunately, above, not below. We don't want any of that. Um, but yeah, I think I can start the discussion though, just while we wait for people's comments to come
Mhm.
in. Um, so I do. I think there are good points and bad points of social networking. Um, and I think that those points are reflective of people.
Mm.
Because I think that there are good opinions and bad opinions.
Yeah.
It's funny, when I was younger, you're always told there are no wrong opinions, but actually, I believe there are some wrong opinions. Um,
Yeah.
and I think a good thing about social networking is that you can explore lots of different opinions. You can get different information from different people to help ground you as a person
Mhm.
and balance you. But there is a risk of being caught in what's called an echo chamber. So an echo is when you, of course, you shout something and the same thing comes back to you. And
Mhm.
sometimes based on the circles we have made, our social circles. For example, I'm quite liberal, but all of my friends are also liberal. So my opinions tend to be reinforced because I think, oh, everyone is saying the same thing as me. I am so right. And then sometimes I'll find myself in a different situation outside of this echo chamber, and I'll just be shocked that
Mm.
anyone can have a different opinion because but I thought my opinion was everywhere. So I think that can be
Yeah.
a danger. And the same for people with other opinions, they can also get stuck in an echo chamber and constantly being validated for what they think or believe.
Yeah.
And obviously,
So so
yeah,
when you say an echo chamber, do you mean like it's when you're online having your opinions validated?
yeah, yeah, I
Okay, and
do.
then
I think just being surrounded by people who are saying the same things as you or similar things, so you kind of don't realize that there are other opinions in the world.
okay. Really good. So yeah, I'm just going to write that down just in case anyone hasn't heard it before, like that expression, an echo chamber. So
Okay.
validated. And we have some
Um,
answers coming in. Fantastic, guys. Thank you.
exactly. So Marco says, I think they can be useful if they convey a positive message, not just to show themselves up. Um, when you say not just to show themselves up, do you mean not just to say something with no reason, just to be present? Because show themselves up is actually a phrase that we have, which
Mm.
means to embarrass yourself. So I'm not sure if that's what you meant.
I
Um,
I think potentially here he's trying to say to show off.
okay.
Another. So this is another phrasal verb. So to show off. So I think maybe he's gotten these mixed up potentially.
I think it's just maybe a coincidence that to show yourself up does mean often you can get a mother saying it to a child like, "Don't show me up, so don't embarrass me in front of people." Whereas to show off is kind of to boast or to brag or to make yourself appear very good.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think there can be a lot of showing off on social media. So I think that probably is what he is referring to.
Yeah,
Um.
exactly.
Okay. So Gianni, I don't use social networks too much, only Facebook, and I try to limit their use only to know the new initiatives that are proposed. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
So okay, very good. So kind of maybe more to keep up with the news and also kind of different things that are happening.
I think that's a very balanced way to be, Johnny, and probably
Mm.
I should try to be like this.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think we know some people who are just constantly on social media, like they never take a break from it. Really?
Right now, yeah. It's horrible. I'm disgusted at it, but it's just become a habit. So I want to stop. Help me. Okay,
I know it's hard though because outside connection well right now.
exactly.
Very
But then we have Alessia. So she says they are helpful, but at the same time they are dangerous. I agree. But it would be great if you can
hmm
expand a little bit and tell us why, Alessia, you think they're helpful and why you think they are dangerous. Maybe it's something we've
Yeah.
already said,
I think
but it would be nice to hear from you.
yeah, I think maybe also like there are a lot of like about people who are maybe conscious of how they appear on social networking, or
Yeah,
also maybe bullying. Bullying, it's dangerous for kids for bullying.
it's true. And also there's I think a
hmm
danger I think there's a word for it, but I can't remember. But it's where people are no longer really paying attention to their real lives. So it doesn't, you're
Yeah,
not
like
really getting the most out of your experiences because you're just worried about how they look on social media, which is very sad, I think.
yeah, exactly. You become detached from reality.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. Um, So just a little bit. So this is what we've already started doing anyway, but what we're going to discuss. So just kind of discussing social issues and technology, also some vocabulary about social issues. Okay, so a little bit of vocabulary about this, and expressing general opinions. Okay, so some vocabulary expressing personal opinions. So taking a look about this. Okay, good question to
Okay.
Gianni. Very good. Uh, So in this case, what I'm going to do,
um,
I'm going to
so I've just
jump
seen that
first because it relates to.
so I've just seen that Alessia has
Okay.
commented on our question
hmm
expanded. So they're helpful because you can learn new things, but at the same time they're dangerous because you can be cyberbullied. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Definitely, definitely, really, really good. Um. Okay, so here we have some. So it's called hashtag vocabulary. I love it. Hashtag
Ooh,
vocabulary.
I like that.
But vocabulary related specifically to kind of online activity. Okay, so online activity specifically. So we might just, like, if you want, you can match them up, but I think it's quite difficult because we don't have numbers and letters. So we might just go through them and
Yeah.
discuss them a bit. So taking a look, Jadine, can you see maybe a definition or a meaning for connection?
Yes. So I think maybe the act of joining or being joined to something else could be connection. Yay! It's always scary as a teacher when you do these tasks because you
Exactly.
think I can't get it wrong. I can't get it wrong.
No, because no, but there's a lot of things, so it's hard, and also connection we can define in different ways as well, so it's difficult.
That's true because it could be a
Okay, and Gianni
physical
says
connection. Ah, person to person
so
to chat.
person. Yeah, unfortunately, it's impossible at the moment. So you can connect with
Yeah.
us, Gianni, this way. You can speak with us.
Exactly. I do. I like the word connection because connection can be physical, but also it can be a bit metaphorical when you say you have a
Mhm,
good connection with a
mhm.
person. It just means you feel like something is clicking. You feel like there's a
Yeah,
good relationship or bond. You
yeah,
can also
exactly,
say,
for sure, for sure. And then a distraction, which is something we're all looking for.
um, so a distraction we can
So it's
say,
the
yes, okay. I think that prevents someone from concentrating on something else. Yeah. Sometimes we choose to be distracted, I think. But other times it's
yeah, it's
definitely
true.
problematic.
Yeah, it's really good. And that term actually is really good. Maybe just to explain it a bit more about to click with someone.
Yeah. So if you meet somebody, usually you click with someone immediately. It's not something that's gradual. So if you meet a new person and you find it very easy to have a conversation, you find you have similarities either in things you do or in things you feel or believe, you can say that you and this person have clicked. Um, so you just
Mm,
instantly get along. And I think it comes from something physically clicking into place. Maybe like imagine two puzzle pieces
mm.
that just together, so they've clicked.
Yeah, it's true because you literally have that moment of like something. There's
Yeah,
just some sort of bond there. Can
it's
be
really
with
nice.
romantic relationships, but it can also be with friends. And yeah, it's really nice. And I think sometimes as well, it's to do with personality. As well, maybe
Yeah,
something to do with similarities in personality or a good mix of personality.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. And then impression.
Okay,
So
so I
in this
think
case, we're talking about the appearance or suggestion. So sorry, I kind of jumped ahead there.
no, it's fine. It's fine. I think there is a delay between us as well, but don't worry, you can go.
Yeah, yeah, technology is against us at the moment. So yeah, so like we were talking about giving that impression online, kind of showing off, I guess, showing off a bit about maybe ourselves or what we have or different things like that. Jadine, I'll let you decide for controversial, something that's controversial.
Sure. So yeah, I just wanted to say, and I've just added a comment. Impressions aren't always true. It's just what people
Hmm.
believe. Um, so if something is controversial, I would say it's something that causes discussion, disagreement, or argument. So a topic that is
Mhm.
controversial, it's one that you know not everyone will agree with. So there will be discussion And often the discussion isn't pleasant either. It's usually for something that is quite an important topic. So if something isn't really that important, it doesn't tend to cause
Yeah, exactly.
controversy, which is the noun, because no one really cares if they disagree. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. Like at the moment, there are a lot of controversial things being discussed, with, obviously how governments are handling situations. For example,
Mhm.
our lovely Donald Trump, who just keeps making controversial decisions and statements.
Always leading the way, leading the way for controversy.
Exactly. For forging a new path for controversy. um, and then privacy.
Yes, so privacy is someone's right to keep their personal matters a secret. And this can be in the physical world. If you're a private person, you just want to keep your things, yes, yourself, to you. Or you can also be someone
Hmm.
who is discreet, so private in that way. And of course, on the online world, someone who is private, for example, doesn't share everything on social media, and also doesn't have all of their social media accounts public for everyone to see, maybe only a few friends or family members. So for everyone watching as well, you can tell us how you feel about these words. If you have experiences where you have connected with someone, how you like to distract yourself, if you think that you are a private person or not. And
Hmm.
just to note as well, in this terminology, if you are not a private person, you wouldn't say that you are a public person, even though these are opposite words. When you use the word private to describe a person, you would either say they are private or they are not very private, I think. I'm not sure the opposite.
Exactly. So I'm going to actually put that as a question to everyone. Like, are you a private person, or do you like to share? To
Ah,
share
sure.
with others. Because it can be not just on social media, but it can be also a personal thing. Um, because some people just like to tell people, how they're feeling, different things like this. But then others can be very private, just naturally.
Mm.
Exactly. Um, Perfect. So, like for example, actually, my sister-in-law is a really good example. She she just shares everything on social media, every single like thought, experience, everything. People who obviously never share.
Yeah,
Oh, that's really good, actually.
a sharer. So are you private or are you a sharer? Ooh. So Gianni says, I like sharing with a few others, but not immediately. So do you mean like not as soon as something happens, which is fine, or yeah, because yeah, sometimes it's nice I think to keep something for yourself um for an amount of time, just to understand it well before giving it
Yeah.
away.
Exactly. And I think some people as well, it takes a while to build a relationship with someone or a friendship with someone. So it takes a while to open up.
Yeah. And open up is also a nice phrase. So to open up is just to get someone to be more sharing, to share their emotions or their thoughts more, because maybe they don't do this straight away.
Hmm. Exactly. So yeah, so to open up, I'll just put that there as well to start to share personal.
Exactly. And also don't forget, Alessia, when we use the word like, we always follow it with to and then the base verb, or you can follow it with the ing. So I like sharing things, or I like to share things. And it's the same with our other stative verbs, like hate or love or dislike. And Marco says, a sharer is positive or negative, like someone who gossips. I think no. I don't know if you were going to say something, Lisa.
Yeah, so I think it's meant in a positive way. So a sharer. So it's more just that they're a very open person. Like I often joke and say I'm the type of person who overshares.
I'm just going to write
So
that.
yeah, exactly. So I overshare. But well, I now I'm talking in person. So I overshare in person. I don't really overshare on social media. But in person, I just kind of tell everyone what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling. I'm very honest. So it's generally not a negative. It's usually kind of like, okay, this person's just very open. They're just
Yeah.
very open. But I guess maybe someone can do it too much, like too much, and to the point where it gets annoying.
Maybe
or
maybe not everybody likes. Yeah, maybe not everybody likes to share, or maybe some people feel uncomfortable if people are sharing a lot
Mhm.
and you don't know how to respond. But
Yeah,
I definitely don't. I wouldn't say it was negative, and it's not the same as someone who gossips, because when we talk about someone
yeah.
sharing, usually it's personal. Um, if
Hmm.
someone is gossiping about someone else, then yeah, we wouldn't say they're sharing the information. We're saying they're gossiping.
Yeah.
Maybe they would say they were sharing the information, but I think everyone else would say, you're gossipy.
Yeah. Exactly, it's true. It's like going too far. I love the next one. It's like, what is isolated? It's what we're feeling right now.
Uh,
I think
I wonder.
we can all define isolation right now very well.
Exactly. So I'm going to go for separate from others.
Shockingly. It's like what we're all feeling. Obviously,
Exactly. So then
because we're
finally,
isolating out on interaction.
although luckily we get to interact with you guys, which is great. So thank you. Thank you for
Uh,
coming to our
like,
webinars, because we love it.
like, yeah, like I've said before, guys, you're keeping us, you're keeping us alive
Really. Yes, I have purpose because of
by joining us.
you.
Exactly. Cool. Okay, so just let us know if you have any questions. But I think for you guys, these terms are straightforward. But it's good to just
Yeah.
discuss it in the context of connecting.
Exactly. Now we're interacting. Yeah, we are.
Exactly. Exactly. We're interacting. And this is, you okay? Oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
dropped your
I keep
earphone.
losing my earphones. I've got funny
No
ears,
problem.
so
Yeah, and this is the good thing, I guess, about technology at this time, I think. Um, like we're able to find new ways or different ways to connect with people when we are stuck at home. So I think that
mm,
is the big benefit at the moment. Even if
mm,
our internet isn't fantastic or we have some technical problem, I think it's still
exactly.
people feel less isolated.
And also to stay connected with
Um,
people that you've
so
really
this
clicked with in the past, but maybe have just been passing. Maybe you meet them on holiday or at work, but someone has left the job. It's a nice way to stay connected. Um, yeah, even if you're not
Yeah,
isolated. Yeah.
exactly. And not just now, but also in general. So this is quite a funny gap fill exercise, which I don't know
Hi, John.
if some of you have heard of before, but Ashley Madison. Have people heard this? So we want you guys to fill in the blanks. Okay, to fill in the blanks in this piece.
Exactly. Do you want
Okay,
to
using.
read it, or do you want me
Yeah,
to?
sure. Yeah, sorry, I was just actually putting up a banner. Okay,
That's
there we go.
okay.
Perfect.
Oh, so much technology. I love it.
I know. Okay, perfect. So yeah, we want you guys to fill in the blanks as we read through. So maybe what we'll do is we'll split this. So I'll read half and you read half.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Perfect. And we won't give away the blanks. So we want you guys in the meantime to tell us what is missing. Okay, what is missing? Um, okay, so it's quite a funny story, and some of you might have heard it in the news. But yeah, so life is short, have an affair. Okay. So AshleyMadison.com was a Canadian-based website that people who were married or in a committed relationship with each other for the purpose of having an affair. Okay, site users could with one another online to set up meetings and cheat on their partners. In 2015, I love your face. In 2015, a group of unknown hackers, a group of unknown hackers broke into the website and stole the personal of its customers. Later, they published the customers list on the internet, ruining many relationships and professional careers. Okay,
God,
Jadine, would you like to read the rest of this lovely story?
sure, but what a scandal! It's absolutely scandalous. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Yeah.
so, um, in the opinion of the hackers, the site was wrong. The publication of personal information, however, also became a issue. Some argue that is more important than morality on the internet. Many were left with the that privacy is not possible on the World Wide Web. Okay, very interesting. Is this a true story?
Yeah, I'm surprised you hadn't heard of it. Yeah, it was a big
No.
it was a massive scandal. Yeah, it was a very big scandal.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a big scandal. Marco has a good question as well here about this, so about the expression to have an affair. So is it only related to romance or even other matters? Okay.
Um, I think you can use it for other matters, but I would say it's purely romantic. Um, and if you use it, for example, maybe in some advertising campaigns, like someone would say, why don't you have an affair with your diet and get a chocolate bar, something like this. It works, but the connotations are always linked to romance and cheating on something, usually a partner or something you should be committed to, in my opinion. But
Exactly.
I don't know if you disagree.
Yeah, I think the only other way we would use it, so like you were saying, is probably in a joking way.
Yeah,
In a joking way, like also maybe to say like, oh, are you having an affair with that other company? If you work for one company and maybe you're like you're kind of
exactly.
cheating on that company with a I don't know competitor, but that would be very like joking, I guess. So it's
Yeah.
very colloquial. But yeah, in general, when we
Or
say to have an affair, it's about cheating on a partner or also to cheat on a husband or wife.
mm, but also an affair. So an affair can also just be an event, though. Is that right?
Yeah, like for example, talking about affairs, it can be like also to do with your business, like your
Yeah,
own affairs. It's like your own personal business. Um,
yeah.
yeah, so it can be
Yeah.
used in different ways.
But
Okay.
yeah, in this context, it does purely mean to cheat on something. So to no longer
Mm,
be faithful to something or
exactly.
someone.
So the headline of this article is actually that, that is the top website.
Wow.
So life is short, have an
Horrible.
affair. That's like their
How
slogan.
horrible. Ugh.
I
Because
know.
I know
It's
there are a lot, there's a lot about
I'm
open
pretty sure it's
relationships and stuff, but an affair, it's just an affair is horrible because it's just about deceit, isn't it? lying. That's the other thing about an affair. An affair is it relies on one person being deceptive.
Okay. Really true, actually. It's very deceptive and deceitful.
It's not the same as if I don't know, maybe you were just
So,
an open couple who wants to, I don't know, agree to try different
yeah,
things. It depends on lying. So
exactly. Exactly. So in this case, so we don't have anyone filling in the blanks, so we may as well do it ourselves.
yeah, why not? Why not?
Okay. So, Canadian-based website that's something people. So what do you think goes in the first space?
So I would say that connected people who are married, because it's people who haven't met before. So different married people
Mhm.
who are connecting or being brought together.
Okay. And then site users could something with one another.
Interact,
Mhm.
so that yes,
Perfect.
they could
Exactly. So yeah, because
communicate, etc.
exactly because we always say to interact with, to interact with.
Ah,
Okay,
yes.
to interact with. Mhm. And then they stole the personal of its customers.
Oh, excellent, Gianni. So yeah, he said connected and interact, perfect. And then he also says privacy. So it stole the personal privacy of its customers. I would have, oh, but privacy is not correct. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. In this case, information. So yeah, I think that's what you were going to
Yeah,
say, Jadine.
yeah, information or
Exactly. So
data. But I do like kind of the poetry of them stealing the privacy of the customers, because it is
yeah.
also true. They did take away their privacy by sharing their information.
Yeah, so we could kind of say that like they stole or they took away the people's privacy.
Yeah,
But yeah, in this case it just makes more sense to say they stole the information because they actually
yeah, in a
stole
more
something.
literal way.
Yeah. Exactly. And then so we'll actually give you a chance just for the others. So the site wrong however also became a something issue. Argue that something is more important. And then the last, the something that privacy is not possible.
Exactly. And our remaining words are privacy, which we established is someone
Hmm.
keeping things to themselves.
Hmm.
Impression, which is how something appears. Morally, which isn't a word we discussed, but this is like to do with ethics. So if something is ethically okay or not. Um, and then controversial, which we said can cause discussion or debate or arguments
Exactly.
as well.
Exactly. But yeah, like the thing is, and it's funny because people argue sometimes about this, like about a service. So they say the service is not to blame because it's the people who go and use the service that are to blame. I don't know. What do you think about this?
Ooh, what a controversial question.
I know.
um,
I've
I
discussed this
agree.
before in lessons.
I do agree that it's people who use the service, but I think if the service wasn't there, then people wouldn't use it, because I think
Exactly.
as well that I think that people and services work together. Um, and not to say that people are all sheep and will just follow whatever's happening, but if something is available, then it can
Hmm.
plant seeds or make things easier to do, which before probably you might
Exactly.
have thought about but wouldn't have ever done it. So I do
Yeah.
think that it's a combination, but a really
Yeah.
interesting
Exactly.
question.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of like, yeah, well, you're giving people you're almost encouraging people by giving them the outlet to do something like this.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's a bit of both, really. So
Yeah.
we have a mix of answers from Gianni and Alessia.
Um,
Okay, so Gianni says the next one is morally.
yeah, they both say
So
morally.
perfect. Okay, and so morally wrong. But it also became a controversial issue. Okay, a controversial issue. Okay, so just a tiny mix up
Exactly.
there.
Yeah, the different
So
privacy
some
issue
argue
could work.
privacy
I
is
should say
more.
privacy issue could have worked there, but then privacy issue would have kind of been like a compound noun rather than controversial, which is describing the
True,
issue.
actually. Mm. Yeah, it's true. So I think it would be that one. Um, mm, mm, mm. Okay, so and also I can see why
Yeah.
you think impression would go into the next one. Impression is more important than morality on the internet. That's also a little bit true.
But yeah,
Exactly.
for the last one, Alessia, controversial would not have worked because controversial is an adjective. So we needed a noun because they're left with the, so it's impression.
Hmm.
If you want to use controversial as a noun, then the noun is controversy.
Exactly. But really good. Excellent, guys. Thank you for your answers. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go on from this just to this. Okay, so in the opinion of the hackers, in the opinion of the hackers. And some argue that, okay, so these are some common phrases that we see. Okay, so some common phrases that we see when people are commenting on maybe a topic that is being discussed right now, or also for example, kind of, I guess, reporting. It's language that you would see in,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's language you would see in a report, in a news story, or something like this. Okay. So
Yeah.
they're saying that this is a modern controversy. Okay, a modern controversy. So on this, so guys, give us your opinions, what you think about this. I know it's quite a controversial topic, but that's kind of the point, to get people talking. So why would the hackers argue that ashleymadison.com was morally wrong? So what do you guys think about this? Okay, why would the hackers argue that Ashley Madison was morally wrong? Okay. And then the other question is, if you had the chance, so it's a hypothetical, if you had had the chance, would you have published the customer's information online as well? Why or why not? Ooh, difficult.
Mm, very interesting.
Okay, so guys, let us know what you think. Answer these questions, or just also let us know what you think about this in general. Like, um, what do you think about these types of things? I suppose this is just an example, but there are lots of services online who try to take advantage of people. Um, so I think this can happen a lot.
I like the third question as well. Do you think people have the right to privacy on the internet no matter what? Um, I think no. I would like to think yes, but again, there are some things that are dangerous. I think maybe some things that can be dangerous, in which
Mhm.
case people shouldn't have privacy, if they're plotting something awful.
Yeah,
But then the thought that all companies or all apps or technology should be able to access your privacy in case that's the situation also makes you feel uncomfortable, because now it is so much easier to communicate with people not in person, that it's horrible to think that
yeah,
all of your communications are recorded, even though I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah, it's not
yeah.
something that you like.
It's true. I think also, like, you get those massive privacy and data agreements every time you sign up for anything.
Mm.
And they can be so confusing. I remember a British comedian saying about how, you just agree to these things like terms and conditions with Apple.
Oh, of
Um,
course.
and like, you just imagine one day someone from Apple will turn up at your door and be like, I own your house now. And it's like, what? And it's
Yeah.
like, you agreed to it in the terms and conditions.
Yeah, I remember I watched an episode of South Park years ago, and it was on something similar about terms and conditions, and it was the
Yeah.
joke that just one character, all of this horrible stuff happened to him because it was
Yeah.
in the terms and conditions, and he was like, "What? Why is this happening?" And everybody else was like, "Wait, you don't read the terms and conditions?" As if it's
Exactly.
normal to read them, but they're pages long, and the we say the language isn't plain, so if it's not in
Mm.
plain language, plain just means understandable by someone who is not educated in law, or
Mhm.
yeah, just who is not like, doesn't have to be very well educated to understand what they're talking about. Um, but yeah, I think usually what
Exactly.
can
Yeah.
count as plain language still is difficult. I think they use the maximum they possibly can. Um,
Yeah. True.
okay.
Something Gianni has made a good comment here. It might be good just to highlight the difference between moral and morale,
Yep.
different words. But yeah, the
Yes.
comment is really good. The moral of hackers. Okay, so the moral of the hackers is something completely different from my idea of moral. Okay, so we would say the morals of the hackers, okay, is something very different from my idea. Yeah, for sure. Uh, that's something that definitely I think is like realistically, if someone is actually a hacker, then probably their morals are already questionable.
Yeah, that's true. We hack for good. We hack for good.
Exactly. Um, But yeah, so just to mention, so morale is something that's quite different, which we use to talk about. There we go. Thank you. To talk about spirit or enthusiasm in a situation. So, for example, at the moment, people are talking about trying to keep their morale up. So the morale of their workers up while they're working from home or while they're dealing with stress. You know, it's keeping up the enthusiasm in a situation. So the morale. So yeah, so just be careful about the spelling. But really good point. Okay. And Jadine, do you want to read this one?
Sure. So Marco says, I think that today our data, we should say, is not protected, because don't forget data is not countable, so we can't make it a plural. On the
Mm-hmm.
internet, even if there are agreements and other stuff. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I think there will always be some kind of higher power that can say, okay, we can use your data now. Sorry, there's some law that I don't understand. So
Exactly. Um, really good. Okay, excellent. So guys, unfortunately we kind of have to start finishing up, but if you have any final questions, please let us know. Okay, please let
exactly.
us know. But yeah, so I think like to be honest, I really think that kind of this whole thing of publishing information, personal information on the internet is never a good thing. Uh, but yeah, I think it's something in this case, maybe I don't know, maybe there was something personal involved, some personal emotions
Yeah,
as
but especially because there are some people who can be real extremists now as well. So it's dangerous
well.
to have your personal information accessible by everyone because you don't know how people are going to use it. And it can be
Yeah,
very
exactly,
scary. Yeah, which I
exactly.
think also no one really deserves. So
Yeah, it's
there
true.
we go.
Okay, so guys, thank you so much for your fantastic
Thank
participation.
you.
Really, really good.
Yes,
So, Gianni, Marco, Alessia, everyone. So, thank you so much. It was great to talk to you, and I hope we'll see you soon for another masterclass.
exactly. Bye.
Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.